Welcome children to this 6th webinar of EI webinar series, which is about mastering the fundamentals of algebra. So I would request all the parents who are out there to please invest 60 minutes of your time today with your children. When children are studying online, it is very critical for the parents to be with them so that they are learning better from any of the teachers. So what we are going to cover today, we are going to talk about few things about the company that we work with. We are going to learn algebra from Jayanti ma'am. She's going to teach few concepts of algebra. So I'm sure all of you have got your notebook and your pen ready with you. We are going to understand how to practice algebra via MindSpark. Very importantly, parents, we have a quiz for you also. So parents, please pay attention to what Jayanti ma'am is teaching. You also need to answer a quiz. We'll understand the uniqueness of MindSpark Life classes. So this is kind of teaching of algebra and letting you know how do we conduct live classes. There is a scholarship quiz for the kids. You'll understand how to participate in that scholarship. And of course, we'll answer questions. So Jayanti ma'am, welcome to the webinar. I would request you to please tell something about yourself and also about EI, the company we are working for. Please welcome, Jayanti.
Thank you, Anshul. Good evening, parents. Good evening, young friends, for joining us today evening, Sunday evening. Like Anshuman introduced, I would like to introduce myself as a teacher. I am basically a teacher. Worked in schools for 16 years, 16 to 20 years. Last 5 years, I'm working with educational initiatives. EI is one of the world's best organization in assessment and learning domains. And I head the academic team in EI. EI is a 20-year-old organization with a vision of creating a world where children are learning with understanding. We have been working across 19 countries for last 20 years and impacting learning of almost 10 lakh students. And I'm very proud to tell that we are associated with more than 5,000 schools. The basic strength of EI has always been deep research in pedagogy. We have more than 5 billion students' responses that help us to understand and get a deeper understanding of how students learn and what they don't learn. MindSpark, which is a learning solution, has helped more than 10 lakh students to learn and become self-learners. We also have conducted more than 1 crore assessments in last 20 years. So this is what EI does, Anshuman.
Wow, this is truly remarkable, ma'am. So, a great feat to be achieved by the company. Now let's, ma'am, come to today's topic, which is algebra. I have a question for you, ma'am, before you start teaching. Why do you think algebra is important for grades 7 and 8?
So this is the journey of algebra as a concept across grades. But let me go a little deeper into it and understand why algebra. Today, mathematics as a field has many branches like pure maths, we have number theory, we have algebra, geometry, analytical mathematics, and applied mathematics like statistics, econometrics. But if we go back to 16th century, mathematics was divided only into 2 parts, arithmetic and geometry. Almost 70 to 75% of higher arithmetic is algebra. And also in geometry, we use algebraic structures and call it algebraic geometry. So if you see entire mathematics, 80 to 85% of higher mathematics, I mean grade 6 onwards, is algebra. So that is important of algebra in our lives. Yeah.
So algebra is not just a topic, children. Parents, algebra is not just one topic that is to be studied in one class and forgotten. It has got connections, as we see, to the grades which are below grade 7 and 8 and to grades which are above grade 7 and 8. So children, attention, going to teach. Ma'am, we have got so many topics in algebra. I would request if you could teach us few topics from these.
Yeah, sure. So I will share my screen.
Sure, ma'am. Shall I stop sharing my screen?
Yeah, please.
Sure, ma'am. Give me just 1 second.
Yeah. Right? My
Yes,
screen is
ma'am.
visible too. So we
Yes, ma'am.
start with the basic definition of algebra. So algebra is part of mathematics in which letters and symbols are used to represent numbers and quantities. And I would like to state it as it is learning unknowns. It is how to find out unknowns. So we are,
Right.
yeah, give me 1 minute. Is my screen visible?
Yes, ma'am. Your screen is visible, ma'am. I can see it.
Yeah, I don't know why my pen is, okay. So it is knowing unknowns, right? Maybe I have to again open this. Give me 1 minute.
Sure. We can see your
I know,
screen, ma'am.
I also can see my screen, but okay, I think now am I able to write? Oh, God. I don't know what is why I'm not able to write. Just a second. I'm so sorry.
Student, please give us one
Yeah,
minute.
it's done. It's done. Right.
Yes.
Correct. I'm back. Sorry. I'm sorry.
Yes, ma'am.
So we were talking about unknowns, right?
Yes, ma'am.
How do we calculate unknowns? Now let us start with something like arithmetic. Okay. What does arithmetic involve? It involves numbers and operations, right? Basic operations, addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. So in arithmetic, we have numbers with an operator and we calculate and find out the result. Now what happens in algebra? In algebra also we have numbers, we have operations, again basic operations, plus, minus, multiplication and division, and we have something as an unknown. So how do we now have this unknown? How do I write algebra? 1 plus 2 is equal to this unknown. Whatever we don't know, we represent as unknown. Unknown
Right.
can be represented using any alphabet, A, B, C, D, any. But the most children must be knowing, right? The most common alphabet that is used is X.
Right. I get it.
So one important goal of algebra is to find unknown.
So, ma'am, this unknown, if you are representing with X, you can represent it with Y, Z, A, B, C, anything.
Yeah,
It's not
anything. You
necessary.
can draw a box and say this is unknown.
Okay. I get it.
And
Algebra is finding unknowns. Yes, ma'am.
finding unknowns, yes. And the way we solve questions and the way to find unknown is solving equation.
Okay.
So this is how, this is a fundamental of algebra, right? Now I know we have young friends from grade 7 and 8. We learn a lot of concepts of algebra in grade 7 and 8. Today we may not be able to cover all topics, but I'm sure we'll cover certain topics like terms. It's very important to understand why algebra has that language. Second, how to solve an equation. And third, the students find it little intimidating, word problems in algebra. Right?
It was scary for me also, word problems. I'm waiting for word problems, ma'am. Let's go ahead.
Let's start. First, let us start with terms. So I start with something like a like term and unlike term. Why are these names given? Why are they different from what we speak in English? Let us understand. So I have drawn some nice, apples here. So if we have, what do you mean when we have two apples? That means 1, 2.
Right.
Plus 3 apples. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 5 apples.
Right? Yeah, that's simple. I have 2 apples. Then I have 3 apples. Both are apples. I get 5 apples. That is simple. Okay.
Now let me write this in terms of an equation, in algebraic terms. So unknown x, our favorite x, plus 3x. What does it mean again? X.
Okay.
So totally we have 2 plus 3, 5, and we have x, so 5x.
Yes.
Right? Now suppose I have one piece of watermelon. I'll try to draw. Right? I have one watermelon. Now how will I write this? 2 plus 3 is 5. 5 plus 1 is 6. Now, do I write 6 apples or 6 watermelons? What do I write? Because I have apples also, I have watermelons also.
You can't write.
I can't write 6 apples.
Yes.
Yeah. So, what do? I write 5 apples plus 1 piece of watermelon.
Okay.
Right? So here if you see, these are like, similar, apples are similar, watermelon is unlike. Similarly, if I have to do that in an equation here, suppose I add 1y. I cannot write 6y or 6x. So I have to write it as 5x plus either y or 1y, anything. Right? So this is like and unlike term. Let me give you another example.
Yes.
Yeah, sorry.
Yes, ma'am. Please go ahead.
Right. So suppose I give another example. I have again 2x plus 1 plus 4x plus 7. I do not have any y's here. Now, do we have like and unlike terms here also?
Yes. 2x and 4x are like. 1 and 7 are like.
So I add 2x plus, so I can group it like this. 2x plus 4x plus 1 plus 7.
Right? So like terms can be added, subtracted?
Yes. Added, subtracted, divided, multiplied. Any 4 basic operations.
Okay. I get it.
So this is what terminology is important. I know many of you may find it simple, but how do we use it later? It's very important.
So
let me give you
2x plus 4x will become 6x?
Yes. 6x. 7 plus 1 will become 8.
I get it. Now I understand that. Yes, ma'am.
So
please go. Let's go.
Now let me give one question for students. I think students are ready to answer questions, right? You can see this question on your screen.
Yes, ma'am. I can see it.
3m plus dash is equal to 9mn. What should come in the blank to make the above equation true? You can see the answer on the chat. You will get a poll.
So children and parents, kindly have a look at the question. Read it carefully. Remember what do you mean by like and unlike terms, and please answer the question. Solve it and answer it on the poll. You will get a poll. Please don't put anything on the chat. You get 1 minute to answer this question. I hope the poll is live, ma'am.
Yeah, it is live. I can see.
Okay. You've got 1 minute to answer that. Time starts now. Good. I see children raising hands, but please answer that on poll. Yes, please. Good. Please answer that on poll.
They're raising hands telling they're finished.
Very nice. So I still have few children answers who are pending. Good, good. So last 30 seconds, children, please answer it fast. Last 30 seconds. So last 15 seconds and we're going to close the poll. Ma'am, I'm sure you'll help us to solve this question also, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm unable to solve this. I'm sure you'll help me to solve this. Okay, so I'm closing the poll. Last 15 seconds. Okay, ma'am, the poll's closed. Everybody's answered. Thank you, children. And we can go ahead.
Yeah. So let us see how to. Okay, I will. Now the question was this, right? 3m plus dash is equal to 9n. Let us put the first option, 6n. Here. Now 3m plus 6n. 3 plus 6 is 9. But should I write m or n? So first option is not correct. Now let us put the second option. 9mn minus 3m. So 3m plus 9mn minus 3m. What are the like terms here? 3m, 3m, plus 3m minus 3m. We can cancel. So my left hand side is 9mn. My right hand side is also 9. So which is the correct option?
Oh, correct option is the B one.
Yes.
So understand, children, if you have not answered the B1, the answer is not correct. And this is the explanation. Let's go ahead, ma'am.
Yeah. So first we understood what are like terms, and then we tried to solve one question. The second was, how do we simplify an algebraic expression? Right?
That was second topic. Yes, ma'am. Okay.
So this is a algebraic expression. What I do is I quickly solve it. Okay. X equal to 5 into 2 minus 4 by 3. So this is my answer, and this is my question. Now, to solve any algebraic equation, we need to understand or remember two things. First, algebra uses 4 basic operations. Again, I'm repeating. Addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. And the second and very important concept is balancing an equation. So left hand side should always be equal to right hand side. Then it is called a true equation or a correct equation. So whatever operator we use on the left hand side, same operation should be repeated on the right hand side. I know grade 8 students must be thinking it's called transposition, but I'm not introducing transposition as of now. I'm giving you basic steps of solving an equation. Now let us look at the answer. If you see at the answer, the unknown is on one side and all the knowns are on one side. So our steps would be to transfer all the unknowns from knowns from left hand side to right hand side. So let us write down this. 4 plus 3x by 2 is equal to 5. First, we need to remove all the knowns from left hand side. Division, first let us remove 2. To remove 2, what do we need to do? We need to multiply the left hand side and the right hand side with 2. Now I added a bracket here. Bracket means this entire expression multiplied by 2. So I do the same thing to the right hand side. Because my second step says it has to be same. Now I cancel these two. Next step is, steps are very important.
Okay.
Now plus 4 is there. Now I have to remove plus 4. I only need x on the left hand side. So this is plus 4, so I subtract 4. If I've subtracted 4 from LHS, I need to subtract 4 from the right hand side as well. Now 3x in algebra means 3 into x. In algebra, multiplication is a default operator. If you do not have anything in between, it means it is multiplication. So I have to divide this by 3. 3 cancel. X equal to 5 into 2, 10 minus 4 by 3, 6 by 3. So x equal to 2. Now we have solved for x. But one important step again in algebra is to check whatever we get is right or not. So we will plug in this x value in our original question. So 4 plus 3 into 2 by 2. This is my left hand side. So if I solve my left hand side, I should get right hand side. 4 plus 3 into 2 is 6 divided by 2. So 10 divided by 2 is 5, which is equal to, so whatever we solved is correct.
The two basic steps, ma'am. We use plus, minus, multiplication and division. We need to ensure whatever we perform on one side of equation, same thing is performed on other side. Right, ma'am. I understand.
Correct. So now children, I give you a question. Now this is a fairly easy question and I want you to solve this. Get ready with your pen and paper.
Okay, that's an easy question.
Yeah.
Kids, I hope parents, you're not helping. Are your parents helping you? You can raise your hand and let me know if your parents are helping you. Are your parents helping you? Look, I don't see any hand up. So parents are not helping. Children, please have a look at this. Solve the question. You'll get a poll. Time starts now. Okay, I hope you've got last 15 seconds for this poll. Children, please answer slightly faster. Remember the basics, answer faster. Last 15 seconds for this question to be answered. Remember, left hand side, right hand side, equal operations. I see children have done it. Okay, so I'm closing the poll in next 10 seconds. I hope all of you would have answered it. All right, the poll's closed, ma'am. Can we see the solution for this one, please?
Sure. So I have actually worked and kept the solution. So 2x is given. So we need to understand what is given and what is asked. 2x plus 10 is equal to 24. It's a given equation. So again, my first basic rule that let us keep knowns on one side and unknowns on the other side. So removing 10 first. So the step involves removing 10. So subtracting 10 from both the sides, right? So we get 2x equal to 14. Next step is removing 2. So I divide both the sides by 2 and get x value 7. I have seen many students have answered 14 also. But the answer is not 7 or 14. The answer is 4x. It's not x. So 4 into x, 7 into 24, that is 28. Now there is another way of doing it. No? This is fun. This is basic of algebra and fun with algebra. Now when we come to this step, 2x equal to 14, and we see what is asked. Asked is 4x. So we multiply both the sides with 2 and get answer 4x equal to 28.
Oh, that's a shortcut.
That's a shortcut. There are two ways. and we get the right answer at the end of both.
Got it, ma'am.
Right? So we did solving of equation. Now the third concept, word problems in algebra. I like to express this a little differently. So word problems in algebra means construction of algebraic equation from a real life solution and solving it. So how do you construct an equation from a problem given in real life, and then how do we solve it? So let me go to the question. The question here is, there are two sisters, Meenu and Neetu. Meenu is 3 years younger than twice the age of Neetu. Neetu's age is 12. How old is Meenu? I know students must be little disturbed about this age questions, right? But let us try to work on it. So again, we have steps. So I have actually brought for you Meenu and Neetu here. Okay. So let's see, how do we solve? How do we approach a word problem? The first step of approaching a word problem is assign variables. Let us assign variables. Meenu, we have used a lot of x and y's. Now let us use for Meenu m and for Neetu n. Right? The second step is clearly understand what is given in the problem, that is what we know, and what is unknown, what is asked. Right? Now it is given that Neetu's age is 12. So n is 12. What is asked? What is Meenu's age? M. So the third step is, this is the most critical step, is to relate the variables or values. How do we relate them? Now let us construct this question. Meenu is M. Meenu is 3 years younger than twice the age of Neetu. Simple. Meenu is 3 years younger than twice the age of Neetu. Now, we know that Neetu's age is 12. 2 into 12 is 24. 24 minus 3 is 21. So Meenu is 21 years old.
You made it look so easy, ma'am. But it looks so easy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just have a look at that, children. 3 steps. Assign variables, find out what we know, find out what is asked, and then relate the variable. 3 steps of solving any problem, word problem of algebra.
So in fact, I want to tell here that if we are able to decode any problem and make an equation out of a problem, then a complex problem like how many red lights, what should be the duration of red light during 9 a.m., which is the peak hour, or night 12 a.m., what is the difference? Even that is calculated using an equation and a variable.
Okay, let's solve a question, ma'am.
Yeah, let's solve a question. Right, you can see the question on the screen. I also gave you the hints.
Children, please read the question. We need to answer this in a minute. So let's start. You get a poll, you have to answer that on the poll. So your time starts now. Good, I see 12 people have solved it. Very nice. Please answer that on the poll. Last 30 seconds. Last 30 seconds, children. So I'm going to close the poll. We've got some 100 children who still have to answer. Okay, so we have 30 more seconds to answer this question. Read it carefully, assign variable, find what is known, what is being asked, and make a relationship between variables, and we'll solve the question. Last 30 seconds. Please answer. It doesn't matter if it's correct or incorrect. Maths is all about making mistakes and learning from it. Okay, we are closing the poll. I hope you have answered. The poll's closed. Ma'am, we can go ahead with the solution. Let's see.
Yeah. The question looked a little complicated, but the solution is very simple. That's why it's called solution, right? So we'll follow steps. Assign a variable. So what is given? Brown eggs. 1/4 of the eggs in the shop are brown. So brown eggs be B and rest are white eggs. So white eggs be W. We assign variable. X represents number of brown eggs. So what is given? Brown eggs B is 1/4 and represented by X. White eggs, we need to find out how many. So how do we do relation between them? Let me draw this diagram. 1/4 is brown eggs, 3/4 is white eggs. So white egg is equal to 3/4. 3/4 can be written as 3 into 1/4. And we know that 1/4 is nothing but x. So 3 into x. So my answer is A, 3 into x.
So how many of us were able to answer this correctly? If not, don't worry. If not, don't worry. We are learning it. We'll learn it better. We'll learn it better.
Yeah. So we
Let's have a
revision. Correct. Recap. So we did what does terms mean and how it is used in algebra. Then how do we simplify? We have learned 3 steps to simplify. And how do we approach a word problem? Again, we have learned 3 steps to approach a word problem.
That is very interesting class, ma'am. Thank you so much. I hope, children, you did learn something out of it.
I'll stop my...
So going back, like we said, children, we are going to have a quiz for parents. I hope the parents are there and they are ready. Parents, are you ready for the quiz? I hope parents are ready for the quiz. Please take a pen and take a paper to solve this quiz. Please make a square. Children, I would request you, please do not help your parents at all. And I'm sure children can answer this question. Please make a square. I hope you have made. And now please divide that into 2 parts with equal area. That's all.
Pretty simple question.
Pretty simple. Please make a square, divide it into 2 parts with equal area. If you have done, you can raise your hands if you've done.
Anshuman, I see children smiling.
Children smiling? Yes, even I see children smiling. Oh, I see this has been done. Okay, so let's move ahead. How many of you have answered similar to this? Or let us have a poll. You might have answered this there are many ways. Let's see how many of you have answered in these 5 ways. So there is a poll coming up. Please answer the poll. Please answer the poll. Parents, you have to answer this for your children. Please be there. I'll take 1 more second. So make a square, divide it into 2 parts with equal area, and please answer the poll. Poll done. I've got few parents who are still pending. Parents have to answer, children don't help it. Okay, so I'm closing the poll and moving ahead. We'll come with the results in a moment. But now there are so many possible options. So many possible options of dividing a square. That is critical thinking. That's what Jayanti ma'am was teaching in live class. She was trying to tell us that algebra requires critical thinking and it can be built upon. I hope you liked with the way Jayanti ma'am has taught. How many of you understood that? Can you please raise your hands? How many of you have understood what Jayanti ma'am taught and you liked it? Wonderful, wonderful. I see. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Now moving ahead to the poll results of the students who had answered the question. We have a look at question number 1. The real right answer was 9mn minus 3m. Only 26% of the students answered it correctly. 74% have answered it incorrectly. We have a look at second question, pretty direct question. 2x plus 10 is equals to 24. We see 78% of children answering it correctly. Direct question. The third question, slightly tricky question. The answer was 3x. We see only 20% answering it correctly. 80% of them children answering it incorrectly. Now, why did this happen? We had Jayanti ma'am teaching so well. All the children said, yes, Jayanti ma'am taught really, really well. And I'm sure with parents sitting beside the children, there was no scarcity of children being unattentive. Children were attentive. Why did this happen? Please don't worry. This is a natural phenomena. Parents, I want you to pay slight attention. And children, if parents are not there, please, I would request if they could join me. There is a phenomena which we call as learning gap. So it is not dependent upon teachers' quality only. It is not just dependent upon children's attentiveness. It is not just dependent upon many things. It is also dependent upon something which children have learned in previous grades in mathematics. Please understand, you see a spiral here. Maths is a spiral curriculum. Jayanti ma'am, could you please explain this spiral to all the parents and children?
Yes, I'll explain with an example. Algebra, as we just saw, we start in grade 6. But from grade 2 onwards, we start concept of algebra. 2 plus box equal to 5. We don't call it algebra in grade 2. But if child does not make mistake in grade 2 in that, there's all possibilities that when algebra is introduced in grade 6, there will be a learning gap. So you see, learning depends on not the understanding of the present what is taught, but also will depend on what was taught earlier, and it will have higher impact on what will be taught next. Like we have learned about trigonometry, graphs. These are all algebra. And if we don't know how to solve an equation, how will we plot that equation onto a graph and show?
Exactly. So we have, if a child is in grade 8 and the child has made a mistake, it does not mean the child has not understood the grade 8 concept. There is a big probability that the child might not have understood previous year's concepts also. This is the learning gap, and if not corrected, it keeps on increasing. And currently, with the situation in which we are, there is a big possibility of children developing more than 50% of learning gap in mathematics, which is equivalent to going back in the previous class. So, ma'am, what can be done? As a parent, I'm worried. What is the best way of making sure I learn mathematics?
For learning mathematics, teacher is important. So one is a teacher who is impactful, where students are engaged. And second is practice. What you learn, you need to practice. And just not any practice. It should be, in a mathematical term or pedagogical term, we call it interleaf practice. Practice with different types of questions, not the same practice question.
So, ma'am, I remember when I was late in the school, teacher used to tell me, write down 20 times, I will not be late, I will not be late. That is not practice. Yeah. It's just repetition. So, ma'am, I see two arrows here. One arrow is impactful teaching. We all saw that the way that you have taught is absolutely fantastic. And I'm sure we like to learn from you and the teachers like you. the other arrow, which is going from daily practice to impactful teaching. How
This,
can practice help you teach?
correct. This is a very important, this loop needs to be completed. So whatever, like in MindSpark, I'll be explaining you through MindSpark that when children do questions and sums, then we derive that data. As teachers, we take that data and see what mistakes they are making, and then change our lesson plan and remediation for every child, making learning personalized.
So ma'am, the live class that you took right now, after this, you will be giving homework on the MindSpark or practice on the MindSpark. Children will do it. You will derive certain elements of practice and then change your lesson plan according to the learning of the class. Can we see that, ma'am? This very interesting concept. Can we see that?
Yeah. Let me share my screen, Anshuman.
Sure, ma'am. Give me just 1 second. So parents and children, please understand, it is not just learning in the class which is important. Something which is equally important is practice. So here it goes, ma'am. So you go to www.mindspark.in.
Right? Okay, I'll just go from beginning.
Then you go to login.
Yeah, 1 minute. I just see. Yeah. Mindspark.in. I'll just start how children, I'll also show how children can log in. Okay.
Yes.
Right. Every child will get his or her username.
So please check, you must have got your username, user ID and password, which is special for this class on your mobile. You would have got it.
I log in. And there'll be topics already activated. So we have done 2 topics.
Yes.
Yeah, we will do 2 topics. So first we'll start with solving the equations.
Okay, so we've learned the basics of algebra. We're going to solve the equations. Let's see how different this practice is than a normal textbook practice. Let's see that.
So the first question that is shown is minus 4 in bracket y. So what does it mean, right? So
of course, I understand. I know this.
Yeah. Whether a student answers is correct or wrong, there is a detailed explanation given for every question.
Right, ma'am.
Now see, minus is gone. The second question is 3 into y. So the system wants to understand whether children have understood. Again, explanation. We go to the next question. Now, it's just not, it's saying minus 5 bracket y. Is it same as minus 5y? This is reiterating the concept of multiplication as a default.
Yes, yes. So I get it. So these similar kind of questions which seem to be simple are necessary to build the conceptual strength of a child. They may not get confused if same thing is written in 3-4 ways. I see that, ma'am. I see that.
And every child will get question depending on the way the child answers. Everybody will not get the same question.
Oh, okay.
So see, now complexity increases.
Yes, slightly it has increased the complexity.
Now I answered. Now from multiplication, I move on to division. Right?
It is addition, ma'am. Okay.
I answered it wrong. See, what does it tell me? It again takes me back. It again tells whether you're right or wrong. Check. So 6 divided by 2 plus.
It's addition, ma'am, I think. Is it?
Yeah. Division.
It's addition, ma'am. 6 plus.
So
the point, yes, let's go ahead.
Yeah.
So the point is, ma'am, that if you are answering it incorrectly, it will take you to basic conceptual questions. It will explain you the question. If you're answering it correctly, this practice is going to take you higher and higher. I understand that, ma'am. I understand. Oh, it is adding intelligence. Oh, it also helps you to solve equations in this way. Very nice. So it is taking us even to a basic level. Yes.
Correct. Now it's saying that steps are important in algebra. And if I don't do anything, it's the system is assuming that, you are confused. So it's giving you a hint. So I can solve it like this.
Okay.
4y plus 8 plus 1.
Okay.
Next. So 4y plus 8 plus 1, I can write 4y, like terms, right? What we learned.
Mhm. I see the one green tick which tells that this step is correct.
It is asking, this is the final answer or can you further simplify? I say,
Okay.
this is the final answer. The moment I tell this, each step is evaluated and it gives a detailed explanation.
Ah, this is so unique way of practicing, ma'am. Not just all the questions of the same type, questions of a different degree of difficulty. This is very nice. Can we see another set of questions, ma'am?
Yeah. So let me go. We have done now. Let me go to word problems.
Okay. Oh, looks tough, ma'am.
Yeah. So this is trying to do what we did, in the live class. It's trying to tell the steps, understand a word problem or decode a word problem. Which team won more medals? Here is saying the girls team has won more. So I choose girls team. It is asking me to visualize. Did girls team win more than boys?
Oh, the same three steps. It is asking you to do the same three
Yeah,
steps.
yeah, exactly, exactly. And then
Okay.
suppose I just give some answer which is incorrect and say, so it's explaining me why am I incorrect.
Oh, so it not only helps you to build the concepts while you are doing the questions, this kind of practice also helps you to basically understand the concepts more and understand from the wrong explanations. It's a very different kind of practice, ma'am.
And
But I
students are
have a
not scared.
question.
Yeah, and students are not scared to make mistake because
No,
no,
I
they're not.
see it. You know, but I have a question, ma'am. You
Yeah,
said there was a second arrow which was helping you to teach.
yeah,
How is that this practice helping you to teach better in your life class? I would like to know that.
right, right. So I will go back and show. So this is a class. Okay, let me go to the. So this is a class where I select. Sorry, got logged out because I've not used it. Oh, sorry.
So as a teacher, you will have a different user ID, which
Yes,
will help you to keep a track of what your students are doing in the practice.
exactly. So as a
Okay.
teacher, I got a different user ID.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
I can see all the classes that I teach.
I get it. I understand this.
So I have just taught grade 7 D. So I go there and algebraic expression, I go and see the report. So there are two kinds of report that I get. One is my class level misconception. What did my entire class do wrong?
Okay.
Right? I'm going to just see. So if you see, I can get a class level misconceptions.
Right.
Give
So
me,
that helps you to plan for the class all as a class together.
yeah, remediate then and there. Do not wait for the topic to end. So if I know entire class is going wrong on certain type of question, I plug in that in my teaching so that the next class becomes more meaningful for the child.
Now I understand, ma'am, why teaching is important and why intelligent practice is important and why would we get better results by live teaching with a good teacher and by using technology which can help a teacher and a student both.
Right. I also want parents to look at it. It not only gives me insight of how my class did, but also gives me a insight of entire country. At any point of time, more than 1 million students log in MindSpark. So also I can see how the nation is doing vis-a-vis my class.
So if this class has made a mistake which you catch, next class, you are going to correct that mistake as a whole so that everybody learns better. This is very
Exactly.
nice, ma'am.
I
Very,
can
very
also
nice.
go to each child. I can go child-wise revision. I can call up a child, see the mistakes that he has made, and give personalized attention to that child. So I not only
Wow.
get my class level remediation, I can also see what mistakes children are making. I'll just,
Oh,
I can see,
I remember this question. Yes, I did see that. Oh, so now I understand, ma'am, that teaching effectively and intelligent practice, both things combined together, give 100% learning.
Exactly.
I understand that, ma'am. Ma'am, we have got the results, poll results of the parents. I'm sure I would like to show the parents how have they done.
I'll stop sharing my screen.
Right, ma'am.
Thank you.
So parents, let's see how have you fared in terms of the question that we gave to you. So please have a look. 97% of the parents have done it A, B, C, D. 97%. And there are so many options available. 97% of the parents have done that. It's okay. We all make mistakes. That's fine. We may think better. So getting critical thinking elements is very important. So thank you very much, ma'am, for telling me about this. Now with live class teaching and with intelligent practice options, there's so many options available in the market as of now. Do you have any opinion about the various things that are happening across with children in online segment?
In fact, as a maths teacher, I have very strong opinion on this, because a video or a worksheet is a one-way teaching learning. It's a passive content that a child gets. It's only the input. How do we measure what children are learning? What is the output? And how do I map? Like you have seen, I have mapped the output with my lesson plan. If that connection is not there, then what feedback do I get as a teacher?
Correct. And with high teacher ratio of child, there is no or less individual attention in the solutions. Yeah. And no parental interaction. I don't know why other people don't want parents to be part of it. We want parents to understand and interact with us. And one point which I don't understand is that you can learn whenever you want. No, maths doesn't work that way. No. Maths requires a lot of discipline, a lot of practice, a lot of patience. It is not ki raat ko 2 baje math padhne ka hai to padho. It doesn't work that way, ma'am. I get it. And if you want individual attention, it's very, very expensive. So parents, let me tell you 2 parts which Jayanti ma'am had shown. First part was where she was teaching. It is a very effective way of teaching. Second part is the MindSpark practice. It's one of the best tools of MindSpark practice that we can have for maths. So we have small batches, 1:20 for MindSpark Live classes, where Jayanti ma'am will teach live. And then we have got artificial intelligence and machine learning technology, which is in MindSpark to enable teaching and learning. So each child's path is customized. There is instant remediation, doubt clearance, discipline timing, weekly test, monthly test, and most important, there is a lot of interaction with the parents. Parents get a lot of reports so that they can help. We believe parents can help their children learn better, and all of this at fraction of the cost. So MindSpark Live, which has got live teaching and it has got practice over MindSpark help. So we have various world bodies who have helped and have ensured that they have tested MindSpark and have written about it. So Harvard Business School talks about a case study on MindSpark, which talks about improving educational outcomes in India. The JPAL, which is a research center at MIT, they have proven that using MindSpark results in 2 times to 4 times learning outcomes. I mean, Mr. David Evans of World Bank has written a blog exclusively talking about MindSpark and the result it brings. So entire world is talking about MindSpark. Now, let me just show you how would MindSpark Live classes work. If you've got any questions, any queries, we'll have a session at the end also, and you can WhatsApp it to the number given in the below of the screen. So MindSpark Live classes basically would have 24 to 26 weeks of duration, in which every week there will be 2 days where teachers like Jayanti ma'am will be teaching for 1 hour to the children, and there would be 4 days of practice. So you have, for example, learned algebra today for some time you learn algebra. For next 2 days, you have to work on that intelligent practice. The grades covered are grade 3 to 10, and the boards are given below. As told, we have got highly qualified teachers with more than 10 years of experience. We have weekly, monthly tests. If you miss the classes, if you are not able to attend the live classes, you have recording available. We use Zoom and MindSpark as the platform. All you need is a laptop, tablet, or a smartphone with an internet connection there. Now, what do students get from MindSpark? Students get best of both the worlds, cutting edge technology and the best of the best teachers that we've got. They learn through games, worksheet, tests, which actually helps you to make learning permanent. And of course, if you work hard, we get good results. What does a parent get from MindSpark? Detailed weekly and monthly reports, the best of both of the worlds, human and technology, and improved results. Children will start loving maths if they are learning with teachers like Jayanti ma'am and using practice tools like MindSpark. Now, let me tell you, how can you enroll for MindSpark and what is the price of MindSpark Math? So MindSpark Math with live classes, MindSpark live classes for 24 weeks, like we showed, the classes will start in July, they will continue till December. And with 52 weeks of MindSpark tool as practice, cost only 700 rupees per month, which is roughly 8,400 rupees per year. However, for all the children and the parents who are there on this webinar, we have a 20% discount. So the best of the best world-class learning with the help of MindSpark Math as a learning tool are only 562 per month, which is 6,740 per year, entire year. There are flexible payment options when you go to the website. Please remember, our new batch starts on 27th of July right away. Now, if you want to register, our team is going to give you a call, but you want to register using MindSpark, you can go on the website and register there. There I talked about having a scholarship contest for the children. Children, you're ready to understand this scholarship thing? Please raise your hands if you want to take part in this scholarship. Okay, I see children raising hands. So please check if you have got a user ID and password over SMS on your phones. The number with which you have registered for webinar, you must have got a user ID and password. You need to log into the MindSpark using that user ID and password. You will find 2 units of algebra which Jayanti ma'am had taught. The practice of those 2 units will be there. You have to practice them for 2 days. Like in a live class, you learn 1 day, you practice for 2 days. You solve algebra units on 20th and 21st of July. On 22nd July, we are going to announce the scholarship. We are going to announce prize for the students who would have done maximum correct answers, but you have to complete the entire practice session. You have to complete the entire practice session. So I'll repeat it. You will have a user ID and password sent to your mobile numbers. If you've not got it, there's a number written at the below. You see that? It is 98792-10756. Use WhatsApp or SMS at this number. If you have not got your user ID and password, we will send that to you. Then practice, intelligent practice for 2 days. You have learned in live classes from Jayanti ma'am today. Practice for 2 days. And on Wednesday, we are going to announce the result. So there's a WhatsApp group which we have made of everybody who's attended. We will inform over the WhatsApp group which child has won this scholarship. So I am opening the chat.
We have a question. Grade 5.
Any questions that you have? Can you share MindSpark English as well? Yes, ma'am. We'll have MindSpark English coming in. Any questions that you have got, please write it either on the chat, or you can also write to the email ID written below, or you can call at number given below. You can also send WhatsApp or SMS to the number given below. We are going to start English, ma'am, in next couple of weeks. We are building better and better English. Ma'am, next live class would start on 27th of July for grade 7 and 8. You have to enroll for that. If you get scholarship, you will get around 1100 rupees of Amazon vouchers. You can use them to buy anything of educational value that you can. Will there be a question answer time allocated? Yes, there would be a question answer time allocated, not on MindSpark only, on worksheets also during live session. Goblin asked me where from you, sir. I am in Bangalore.
Achha, there is a question, Anshuman. What about grade 5 students? Who are going to teach them?
So we have got a batch of grade 5 students which is already running. We are going to start the next batch in next week. Kindly WhatsApp on the number or email. We'll send you the details right away. If you've not got user ID and password, please write to the email ID or the message on the number given below.
So MindSpark that's not algebra. It includes all the concepts and topics.
Yeah.
For this concept,
for maths.
For this contest, it is algebra.
For this contest, algebra, MindSpark covers all the things of mathematics. I have already logged in MindSpark. Wonderful. Please use this user ID and password to participate in this scholarship. Okay. If you not get Neeraj, if you not get the username to log in, kindly message on the number given below. Cost remains the same for grade 5 students also. You teach SIBA because I am SIBA student. Jayanti ma'am, what is SIBA? I don't know. Thank you, Hirachi.
We'll understand maybe later.
Can we log in afterward for the scholarship test? You can log in, but you have to finish it by Tuesday evening. You can log in tomorrow also, no problems. You can log in tomorrow into MindSpark. Grade 2 and grade 3, we have started having registrations for grade 2 and grade 3 batch. We will start it very soon. Oh, state board, absolutely state board is there. We teach state board also.
We have Kalpana ma'am from TBS Madurai.
Thank you. I appreciate. Timings of this session would be most early evenings, starting from 3:30 till 6:30. Any 1 hour, we'll inform that. Can we attend even if we do not have an account yet? Please send us a message. We'll send the user ID and password to you. Thank you very much for saying it's a nice session. Okay. If not got username and password, please see the number below, mail it. We'll announce the result over the WhatsApp group that we have made. Yes, we do teach IGCSE also. Somebody says MindSpark is the old version. You get the new ID, you get the new version. Another class of maths for grade 7 and 8 would start on 27th. You have to register for live classes for that. Thank you. You enjoyed the classes. Thank you very much for appreciating. Children and parents, last 3 minutes. If I'm unable to answer the question, please write it to the email ID given below, call at the number or message, send a WhatsApp message. We are going to announce on the WhatsApp group. Once you register, we send you a proper email about informing the classes. Our team gives you a call back to ensure you don't miss the classes also. There is a separate session for question and answer also. No, if you use another ID, your old ID data will not be removed. Thank you. Thank you very much for saying it's a nice session. As there are too many attendances, how that is addressed. So we have a batch of 1:20. We don't have too many people in a batch. So payment has to be yearly, but you've got options. If you are going for a credit card, you have an EMI option that we offer to you. For asking for a link of MindSpark, please write down at the address below. Now you don't have any other problems to solve as of now. Please log into MindSpark. You'll get too many questions to solve. Yes, please send message to the number if you've not got the ID. Amazing questions. Thank you very much. Last 1 minute. And after that, we are going to log off. Yes, you can log in today. You can register by going online or writing to the number, or my team is going to call you. Is scholarship for other subjects? Very smart question. Not as of now. So what if I stop after 3 months? Oh, sure, you can stop. The question made my head spin. Oh, please practice more. Your head would be fine. Okay, so thank you very much, everybody. We are closing this session. I had a great time talking to each one of you, and goodbye. Have a great night. Good night, kids.